Okay, everybody. I've had some of you all may not understand what you're looking at because, well, you've never been arrested. But this is a copy of the original, what they are calling an arrest. This is a copy of the original arrest and booking report that is still sitting down there at JSO. And again, the only reason why this arrest and booking report was filled out, because it's a lie, the only reason why it was filled out was so that these 6 officers, this vice detective, this vice detective, this JSO officer, this JSO officer, this JSO officer, and this JSO officer would not lose their jobs. That's the reason why it's filled out. Now, it's deliberately filled out improperly so that their intention was to never have this thing prosecuted. There should never be a misdemeanor and a felony charge listed on the same arrest and booking report because they go to 2 different courts. Right up here, what court does it say I'm going to go to? It says right here, Circuit Court. Right there, it says Circuit Court, okay? But now just to show you, because chances are you probably haven't gone and looking at the other videos, this is what a arrest and booking report looks like that has been properly filled out as well as completed. Here, this is the guy that they arrested. They arrested a man, or actually the very same thing happened to this man the next day. He was falsely detained / imprisoned. He was kidnapped, and then he was held for ransom. Okay? It's all in the videos. This is the guy's bond hearing date. This was his arraignment date because he pled not guilty because he didn't do anything and he knew it. And here is the continuation date, or the final date that it came to a continuation. And here is the disposition. Okay? So that is where, and the final disposition is NCWHAG, which means his attorney pled no contest and the court withheld. WH stands for withholding. AG stands for the adjudication of guilt. Okay? Now, this that's what's supposed. There's supposed to be something in here, and notice it's all white. It's all white. The whole document is white, where mine is this lovely gray because I never had a court date. Now, this gentleman, even though there's a final disposition and everything, and yet his little case file says correction required. And the only reason why it says correction required is because I reported it. It did not say correction required until I sent in the information to the sheriff and to the 2 judges, and the 2 judges have yet to get it. Now, the simple fact that it says correction required right there tells you that that's an admission of guilt. When the court, if anything is wrong with any legal, in order for the state to win, everything, they have to do everything right. They can't do anything wrong. Because again, they are ministers of God, and they are applying the law, and you can't cut corners. You can't lie. So the simple fact that this case file says correction required is an admission that there is something wrong, meaning it should not be there, folks. Okay? So now we come back to and I call it an arrest and booking report simply because that's the name of the document. The only reason why this was written was to save the 6 officers' jobs. because, well, we already went over that. This is how many felonies were committed. 239,340, simply by having this document go through all of the steps of the booking process, because it does not report any crime, and they were doing it simply to make sure that this guy and this guy and this guy and these three guys didn't get fired, because they had, in fact, falsely detained me / imprisoned me for 2.5 hours, and now this documents that they are now kidnapping me. And they've all signed it. And the reason why there is no final disposition, again, is because it does not report any kind of, it does not report me doing any type of crime, but it does document them. Again, this statute that's listed there is a real statute. It does not apply because it was not violated. This statute that's listed there is a real statute. It does not apply because it was not violated, because I committed no crime on 12/3/1997. This statute cannot be attempted. It can only be committed. It's kind of like, again, I said it before, it's like giving someone a speeding ticket for attempted speeding. Okay? This says that there is a victim. This says that this statute was committed upon a victim. There is no victim. A very specific victim. Again, they played stupid to save their jobs. Okay? Because here's what happens. If it goes through the entire booking process, then when it goes to the state attorney's office, okay, it's presented to the state attorney's office. If they say, wait a minute, there is no such thing as this, and this is just wrong, cut this guy loose. How many times you heard that on TV? What would have happened is they would have said, look, you all need to have a sit down and talk with these officers, because they just violated the law. Now, they're not going to say anything to me. They're just going to let me go. Now, as you can see, and you know, nothing was going to happen to these people. This is corruption, folks. So if they did it right, if they wrote it wrong enough, then it would not be prosecuted. But they can't look outright stupid. Okay? They can't look outright stupid. But if it was never prosecuted, then they would have just let me go. And then this document would have been destroyed. But it was prosecuted. That's why my felony case file says correction required, because I've brought it to light. That's why it says correction required. So law enforcement has to have a legal reason, lawful reason for doing anything. There was no legal, lawful reason to do anything that they did to me. There is no legal, lawful reason for this arrest and booking report to even be in existence. And the fact that it is still sitting down there at the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, going on 19 years later, without a final disposition, without anything being marked on it. And the simple fact that all of these, the felony case file says correction required, the misdemeanor case file says correction required, that is an admission of guilt. This is over with, folks. This is over with. I didn't do this. And who is this hurting? This is hurting other law enforcement officers. Because now, and again, I'm not trying to make law enforcement look bad. I am reporting crimes. These are criminals. These are not law enforcement officers. These are all criminals. The head of ICE became a criminal as soon as he chose to overlook this, because it's their job to enforce the law whenever they know that the law has been violated. Folks, If they're willing to overlook this, what else are they willing to overlook? That's what you need to ask yourself. No, I'm sorry. And again, I am telling the truth, and I am doing what my God has told me to do, and I am going to make sure that this does not happen to anyone else, because this could very well happen to you. What would you do if this happened to you? What would you do? See, me, I don't care what I look like. I don't care what people think about me. As long as I'm doing what my God tells me to do, I don't care. I do my little two-step. Step one, find out what my God would have me do. Step two, do it. If I have any questions, if any questions arise while I'm doing step two, I just repeat step one. Ask my God, what should I do about it? And then do it. It's called walking. One step at a time. Step one, step two, step one, step two, step one, step two. And I've been working on this since May 2nd, 2013, when I first found out about it. And I am not going to stop until these are criminals, folks. These are criminals. Now, I realize that until these criminals are removed. Now, I realize I'm tap dancing on a lot of people's toes right now. I realize that. And I'm not talking about these criminals. Okay? I'm talking about Christians. Because oh man, you're calling the sheriff a criminal. He is a criminal. You're calling the undersheriff a criminal. He is a criminal. He's not the sheriff. Mike Williams is a criminal. He stopped being the sheriff the very instant he chose to do nothing about this. Pat Ivey is a criminal. He stopped being the undersheriff the very instant he lied to me and chose to do nothing about this. I'm not going to fear these criminals. And that's what the law says, folks. We've got a whole giant mess down here. And it's affecting your life. Look, the way that these bullies work is this way. Okay? They're bullies. And what they do is they get in a position and they say, hey, look, if you say something about me, if you don't do what I tell you, I'm going to make your job miserable. Now, anybody that's worked in a government job, anybody that's worked in any kind of office situation where there is a head guy that is crooked, but you can't do anything about it because he holds all the power. Well, guess what? This is law enforcement. Okay? The little guy can't do anything. The honest cop is scared to death to do anything because the whistleblower is always out of a job, never works in the industry again. Ask any whistleblower will tell you that, okay? The whistleblower is always the one that ends up holding the bag. Oh, you just should have kept your mouth shut. No, I'm not going to keep. What they need is somebody like me. Somebody who's not afraid to stand up to these people. Because these people are mocking my God. These people are preventing me and keeping me from living. They are keeping me from serving my God. So now I've dropped all this information on you all. And this is, look, as far as, look, call, don't call, it doesn't matter to me. I know that this is over with. But you have to you Christians, I'm talking to Christians, you all have to give an account for your actions. This is an opportunity for your faith to grow. That's why I'm going through this. Now, for those that have been beat up, I'm going through this to show you that God is no respecter of persons. What he's doing for me, he will do for you. All you have to do is pursue. Press forward. And for those of you, for those legalistic Christians that are saying, oh, wow, you just don't know what you're talking about. Again, I'm really tap dancing on your toes. Because, what, you can't read? You can't read? Correction required. This is over with, folks. Call the judges, don't call the judges. Makes me no never mind. I'm just going to keep doing my little two-step. I'm going to keep finding step one, find out what my God would have me do. Step two, do it. And at the end of the day, my God is going to be glorified. He's just using me to bring glory and honor to his name, because all of these officers, we got a lot of problems here in Jacksonville, Florida, folks, like it or not. Man does not get to set the standard. Almighty God has set the standard when it comes to government, when it comes to law, when it comes to spiritual. Okay? Now, you want to go around and do something stupid like this? Then guess what? You're going to pay the price. God's not mocked, folks. This is over and done with. And these people that are bullying us and that are trying to dictate to us, I'm not a slave. I'm no man's property. Christ paid the price for me. I am free. I am free because I know the truth, and knowing the truth made me free. I was set free by the work that Jesus Christ did on the cross. This is all, and now that I know the truth, I am going to be made free, and I am going to be duly compensated in accordance to what the law has to say for the damages that have been done unto me. No, folks, this is over with. I'm just giving you an opportunity to let your faith grow, to take a stand, because some of you all have been beat up, so stepped on. You've been waiting for an opportunity where you can finally throw a punch. Here it is. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I serve Goliath up on a platter. I'm holding him. You're going to cut off his head, or you're going to still cower in fear. Don't be afraid. If you are afraid to call these people, then there's something wrong. You should not be fearing your government. No one should be fearing your government. You should not fear law. The only people that should fear the law are criminals. So again, this is what mine looks like. This is what a proper, filled out arrest and booking report that has gone through all the processes should look like. And even though this one has been going through all the process, yet his case file still says correction required, which is an admission of guilt, admission of wrongdoing by the court system itself. This is right off the core website. Okay? This is over and done with, folks. Over and done with. That's why mine says correction required. That's why mine says correction required. I'm just making sure that it is applied, that the law is applied. So you can either help me, or, hey, like I said, call, don't call. Makes me no difference. This is over and done with. It's not going to change the outcome, but it will change you. This is an opportunity for you to have change. You don't think God's real? You're about to find out how real God is. Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, so shall he also reap. Well, they've been doing a whole lot of sowing. It's reaping time.